Okay, just a warning here. There's probably going to be a lot of foul language in this video. But here is the Lifesaver Interlock device. I've had it on my car for about a year now. A little over a year. I'm supposed to have my hearing soon, hopefully, and see if they're going to take it off or have me continue to drive with it. I haven't had any major violations. I've only had a couple run-ins where one time I had too many air fresheners in my car, and the air fresheners actually set the device off and failed. I had a failed test. I redid it, and then I passed, and they told me to get the air fresheners out. Just one little air freshener wasn't hurting it. I did have like a real stinky one down here by the vent. It was really close to the device. Excuse me, where I keep the device, and it caused it to go off. But just having this one little one in here hasn't done anything. And another time I had it said alcohol warning. I'd seen that before. I called Interlock. They told me to basically disregard it unless it was my vehicle was locking me out. So one time I got in my car after work, went to start it up, blew in it. It said alcohol warning. Then drive safely. So I started cruising home. On the way home, it had me blow again. Then it said that I failed the test. So I got off the highway real quick. Had me retest like almost immediately, like, I don't know, 30, 45 seconds later. Did the retest, and then it said alcohol warning again. Drive safely. So I drove home, and the Interlock people told me, hey, because the one time I saw alcohol warning on there, I called them and they said that it wasn't a big deal, basically, and to not worry about it unless it was locking me out. And then I went through their little handbook or whatever, and in the handbook it even says that alcohol warning is not a failed test. It just means that you could have drank or smoked something, or it could be a number of things that set it off, because these things are so touchy. And that's what kind of made me decide to shoot the video today, because the last year has been all right, but just these last couple months, this thing has been fucking with my car. It's doing some weird shit with the battery. I went on vacation. I even had a friend while I was on vacation who I thoroughly 100% trust. He doesn't drink. He was house sitting for us, and he actually went and started my car up, so it doesn't sit too long, because they tell you that too. Don't let your vehicle sit for a lot of time, because the device is hooked right to your battery and it can drain your battery. In my case, it's just been fucking with my battery. But anyway, I got back from vacation and started my car up fine. Was driving around. I drove, wherever to and from work. And then like a day later, it said that lockout was going to start on 5/14, and I just disregarded it because I'd seen like weird stuff on here before too, and I didn't do anything to violate to have the vehicle lock me out. So I disregarded that message. And my monthly appointment for the thing was the following week. So I just disregarded it and went about my business. Well, it did in fact lock me out, and I had to pay to have the vehicle towed over there. That was like $100, and then had to have them look at it at the garage. That was like another $150. And they said that something to do with my ignition, one of my wires in my ignition wasn't hooked up or something, and it was causing my car to stall a lot. And I thought that had something to do with, the device being glitchy or whatever. So they went ahead and fixed that, and it hasn't stalled or anything. So, they did fix that part of it. But just the other day, I hop in it again, and it says lockout will begin on 5/29. And I was like, okay, I better have him check it out. It was a holiday weekend. So I had to wait until today. And then today I took it to the garage, and when I got in it and started it up, it said lockout will begin on 6/2/19. So the date had changed. So I wanted to have the technician check it out before I actually did get locked out of my vehicle again and have to go through all that shit again and pay for a tow and everything. So I took it in today, and my dude was like, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. It's just a service reminder for, next month on the 22nd. And if it shows you that warning again for the lockout, bring it back in, and he's going to have to swap out the device or something. I don't know. So he basically didn't do anything for me. And that's really been the dudes at the garage are nice enough, but they even are like, this thing is fucking bullshit. Like, they don't like working on them. Like he said, it was glitchy, he's like, bring it back if it shows up again. He can't do anything for me. I call Interlock. Interlock can't do anything remotely over the phone. So when I called them and I was like, hey, my vehicle locked me out for no reason. They couldn't even tell me why the vehicle, most of the time when it locks you out, it's because you have violations, which I have had 0 violations. I don't drink and drive anymore. I don't drink anymore. So I had no violations whatsoever, and these people could not even tell me why the vehicle locked me out. Fucking worthless. Okay, so right now I'm just putting up with this shit and just trying to, limp my way through this and hopefully not have any more fucking lockouts. But I figured I'd go ahead and shoot a little video here because, a lot of the stuff you see on YouTube and shit was, not very helpful. So I'll try to be as helpful as I can here. But there's the device again. I'm going to go ahead and start my car here, or try to. So you get your keys in the on position. Test interval here. It's it says wait, then it says pass, then it'll say start engine now. I got an old Jeep, so there we go. So yeah, that's it. And look at this, start engine now. My car is running right now. There, drive safely. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some other important stuff about the device, but people bitch about it, I just want a fucking device that works. You know what I mean? This thing should not lock me out for no reason other than if I've been drinking and driving or I've been tampering with it, which I have done none of those things this entire time I've had the device. But word of advice, don't even try to fuck around and, drink and drive. And there is no way to get around this device, which unfortunately, some of us need that. Like I don't have a problem. Like I drank and drove twice. It's my fault. I got in trouble. These offenses are, the last one was over 10 years ago, and I just now decided to, try to get my life together and quit drinking. And I have a family now, and I have to drive my kids around eventually, to and from school and all that. So I have to get my license, and I'm okay with that. Like I said, I did the crime, I'll do the time, whatever. I just want a fucking device that works. And this thing is a piece of shit. It's glitchy. It's, you know, I got air fresheners setting it off, you know, and there, yeah, that's another thing too. When that happened, I was like, well, I don't want to get in trouble for that, you know. Oh no, we'll make a note of it. You know, I'll make a note and you make a note of it. And I keep here's another word of advice too. I keep like a little journal in my Jeep, and because this thing records every time you start it up, you stop it, you're driving, you know, all that stuff. I got a camera right here, you know, it makes sure that I'm the one blowing in the device. Go ahead and keep your own journal too. You know, I write down anytime I go to work or, you know, anything like that. So when this frickin' hearing comes up here, hopefully, you know, they can, you know, oh, what were you doing on, you know, 7:31? Oh, I went to work at 5:18 and I went on break at, you know, 11:47. You know, stuff like that. Just, it's good to have, because, you know, you're gonna eventually, when you have a rehearing or whatever, you're gonna have to answer for, you know, all the times that this vehicle started, and in particular every time that you started your car and you blew into this thing and failed it or had an alcohol warning or whatever. You're gonna have to answer for that, you know. And, you know, I wish everybody, you know, all the best, but you know, hopefully I'll be getting my license back soon.